KNDY.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome into Thursday night football. Not the NFL kind we are accustomed to, but high school football over here in Axtell, Kansas, as the Axtell Eagles are hosting Hutchinson Central Christian Cougars. Have a blustery game over here tonight. Winds coming out of the south at 15 to 20 miles an hour. So look to play a part here in this game. I want to, of course, thank our sponsors before we get too far. Thank you to Landau Corporation, Axtell Trust here in Axtell, State Bank of Axtell, B&D Buildings, Little Steph's Dance and Gymnastics, Axtell Car Wash, Western National Bank of Summerfield, Little Joe's Service, Kramer Oil, Axtell Lumber and Hometown Lumber of Marysville, Eagle HVAC and Plumbing, Blue Valley Technologies, and Moonlight Restorations, as well as a thank you to our regional sponsors each and every week as well. Can't do it without you. So you are tuned in here to our Thursday night broadcast of the Axtell Eagles as they host Hutchinson Christian Central as they come in at a 4-5 record. Of course, Axtell Eagles undefeated 9-0 on the season. Going to take a quick break here, but we'll be right back. I'll have some more pregame action. You're listening to high school football right here on KNDY Radio.
Quality, integrity, durability, the values that make Landau stand out above the rest. Landau Company offers stable employment with growth opportunities, excellent wages, and a benefit package that includes profit sharing, $2 per hour shift differential, 4% attendance bonus, fuel allowance to drive to work, weekly paychecks, comprehensive insurance package with $500 deductible, and much more. Learn more. Apply online at landau.com. Phone 785-562-5381. EEO Vets and Disability. Welcome.
Double the joy! Double the joy! Double the joy!
Ho, ho, ho! We're doubling the joy this holiday season at Blue Valley Technologies. Refer a friend, and you get $40, and they get $40. Refer as many friends and family members as you can before the end of the year, and the credits will show up on your Blue Valley bill. Visit bluevalley.net/double the joy today.
Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
For engineered roof and floor trusses, call on Axtell Truss. 12 to 80-foot span. Complete hip, cathedral, and floor systems using only the best SYP available. Delivered to your site undamaged on a roll-off trailer. Manufactured locally at Axtell Truss on U.S. Highway 36, 2 miles west of K110 between Seneca and Marysville. Phone 785-736-2291.
For all of your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and excavation services, there's only one call to make. Axtell HVAC and Heating. Formerly Dave's Hardware in Axtell, the guys at Axtell HVAC and Heating look forward to continuing the success Dave has built over the years. Offering all HVAC and heating needs, as well as carrying a wide range of name-brand appliances, give Axtell HVAC and Heating a call today, 785-736-2714.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
And wanting to keep the rain away here tonight until at least the Axtell Eagles get their game underway here over in Axtell. Of course, clouds rolling in here as we are about 15 minutes from kickoff. Max Blasky here on the call tonight for KNDY Radio 95.5. Of course, online anytime you want it on the app and, of course, sunflowerstateradio.com. So the Axtell Eagles come into tonight's matchup with a 9-0 record on the season, handling the regular season and handling their last game, first game of the playoffs, as they continue their march here for back-to-back state championships berth under head coach Eric Detweiler. Tonight, they are forced with the task of taking on Hutchinson Central Christian as they bring in their 4-5 record after winning a game last Friday and gets Marymount Valley 52-6, absolutely handling business Friday night, but a tougher test here tonight for the Cougars. Cougars come in with a high-powered offense, averaging almost 40 points a game. The defense is something they are lacking. On the flip side, giving up almost 30 as well. So Hanover will look to take advantage here early on in this game, get some points up the board, use this rushing attack that has been so potent all year, then turn it over to the defense to shut it down. Of course, we do have a windy night here tonight. It has kind of died down here within the last 5 or 10 minutes, but I was watching pregame warm-ups here, and kicking was a theme that both teams probably spent a little bit longer in here. Wind is moving out of the south, so the right to left here as I look at it in Axtell. Pay attention to that here tonight. We already have our starters for the game, so I'm going to go ahead and run through those here real quick before we get to Coach's interview. Starting for the Cougars, Justin Huff, a 175 junior. Tommy Barrett, number 7, a 165 senior. Number 11, Emilio Ibarra, a 140 junior. Number 24, Rylan Kuwiman, a 145 sophomore. Caden Bushati, a 230 junior. Josh Miller, number 58, a 210 senior. And number 70, Keaton Miller, a 210 junior. So looking at the Cougars team, a lot of size in that front line, be something Axtell will have to play with tonight. And, of course, on the other side, Axtell Eagles start the same 8, as always. Number 10, Eli Brocksterman, a junior. Number 11, Evan Bussing, a senior. Quarterback number 12, Isaac Detweiler, a senior. 16, Brandon Schmelsley, a sophomore. 18, Owen Strothman, a senior. Number 34, Grady Bussing, a junior. Number 54, Grant Bussing, a junior. And Sawyer Dieters as well rounds out the starting 8 for the Eagles. Coach Detweiler's interview is coming up here in just a moment. We are about 10 minutes from kickoff. You're listening to high school football here on KNDY Radio 95.5.
Your hometown partner with any do-it-yourself project is Hometown Lumber of Marysville and Axtell Lumber of Axtell. Serving the community for over 20 years, expert knowledge accompanied by a helpful smile and reassuring handshake will tell you you're in the right place. With all your building needs, they are ready to help you. Stocked with a full line of lumber and hardware to go along with tools, plumbing supplies, paint, and lawn and garden, you'll leave knowing you've made the right choice by stopping at Axtell Lumber and Hometown Lumber in Marysville. At Kramer Oil, they know you have options when it comes to a propane provider, but why call an out-of-town company when Kramer Oil is local, reliable, and flexible? Personal attention and propane when you need it, where you need it, along with convenient text ordering options. New customers get 10 cents off per gallon on their first delivery. Contact them by calling or texting 785-562-2466. The Kramer Oil family, serving your family since 1976.
D&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-framed buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. D&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. D&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. D&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Little Joe's 66 Service in Axtell is a proud supporter of Axtell schools and Axtell athletics. If you have automotive repair needs, call Joe at 785-736-2824. With satisfied customers from all over the area, Little Joe's 66 Service is the place to turn for all of your automotive repair needs.
Joined now by Eric Detweiler, head coach of the Axtell Eagles. Coach, impressive 68-8 win against Pike Valley in the first round of the playoffs last Friday. How do you feel you guys played in that game?
Well, I thought we played, pretty well. We come out and scored right off the bat and held them defensively to just 8 points. And honestly, those 8 points come, and we had a lot of our second and third stringers in there, and that's just fine. And defensively, overall, I was pleased with the way we played, and we never punted in the game. So, we kind of scored on every possession, I believe. So, it was just an all-around well-played game by our team.
And you handled business in the first round. We've talked about that all season. As long as you're prepared, you tend to do that. Now, looking at this team, obviously coming off a state championship last year, how do you feel the boys have handled expectations throughout this entire season and moving forward?
Well, pretty well so far. We haven't, other than our first game of the year, we got tested and we kind of struggled there. Other than that, I've kind of kind of preached to them in advance that, this is going to happen and we're going to get everybody's best shot. And just what you've done last year doesn't have any indication of what's going to happen this year. And you need to continue to work hard and then quite honestly be hungry to, if you want to win again. And so far, I think our kids have done a pretty good job of that.
You brought up that early season test there just a bit ago. How have games like that, and then let's say the one against Clifton Clyde early on in the season, helped you guys prepare for this postseason run?
Well, that's one thing I've always said about our league. It helps us get us prepared for the playoffs. Or usually we got extremely hard games within our district and our league, and those two tests that you were talking about earlier kind of helps us as well in that advantage as well. It just always tests us, and usually the better teams kind of show you where your weaknesses are, and that's always a good thing to show where you need to get better, and so it's good just to make you an all-round and all-round better team at the same time, kind of test to see what your kids are mentally and see how they handle adversity and how they're going to react from that as well.
Now, kind of jumping away from the football on-field side of it, you get another home game coming up this Friday against Central Christian. How does playing at home help your guys maybe mentally prepare for games?
Well, first of all, it's the bus ride, depending upon how far you got to travel. You got to maybe leave school early and that kind of stuff. But it's always nice to have home field advantage. It's just the routine of things is so much easier for your guys that you're used to as opposed to going to a new atmosphere, new field. And a lot of times home games you get better crowds. So, our kids feed off of that home field advantage for the noise and having the announcer and the crowd and extra people there and everybody on your side. So to me, it's always an advantage to have a home game.
Looking at this game against Christian Central, they come in with a 4-5 record. I guess, how will they challenge you in this game?
Well, they got a quarterback that's mobile. He's pretty athletic. They have some size on the line. Looking at their roster, that they got some pretty healthy sized kids. I know one kid's 6'6", 260, and one of their fullbacks is over 220 pounds running the ball, and they got size and they got athleticism, and it'd just be a good test for us Friday night that our kids you have to stay assignment sound and just go into the game plan and stick to it, and hopefully we can be successful.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time this week, and as always throughout the year, every time I get a chance to talk to you, it's always interesting, and best of luck with Central Christian coming up here this Friday.
All right, and thank you very much.
Back here in Axtell, as starters are getting announced. Of course, thank you to Coach Eric Detweiler every week for joining me on our Coach's Corner interview. It's been a pleasure all year long. So we went ahead and ran through the starters just a little bit ago. Going to go ahead and take a look at both of these teams. First off, looking at the Cougars from Hutchinson Christian Central. Talked about it a little bit in the pregame. Offensively, pretty explosive. Looked at some of their score sheets. Some 60s and 50s up on there as well, including a win last Friday night, 52-6 in a playoff game against Marymount Valley. So an impressive offense if they can get loose. The Axtell defense will look to also deal with the size of the Cougars, as the Cougars have three guys on the line over 200 pounds. So some top size up front for the Cougars, but Axtell, of course, with their own. I'm sure there will be something to come up to disrupt that size and use it to the advantage of the Eagles. Of course, Eagles on the other side of the ball. They are on a roll this season so far, going 9-0 on the season, handling every opponent that has come their way on route this year to back-to-back state championship berth. Of course, they came in as the heavy favorite early on in this year to repeat, and they have been playing just as to be expected. I believe everyone has been thoroughly impressed by this team. Of course, led by senior Isaac Detweiler, not to be, of course, outdone by his sophomore back running mate Eli Broxman and Brandon Smelsley back there. Quite a trio that team has on the offensive side. Of course, coached by Eric Detweiler. All starts at the top. Got a chance to talk to him about pregame, a little strategy coming up. He said, look for Axtell to come out and start fast, start often, and be sure and watch out for the hard-hitting Axtell defense. So we're going to take one more break before we jump into pregame. You're listening to Thursday Night Football right here on the home for your high school football in Northeast Kansas.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a muddy rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
Little Steps Dance and Gymnastics has open enrollment for spring 2023 classes. With spots filling up fast, don't miss this opportunity to get your kids into a fun, active environment. Continuing to offer the energy-packed tumbling, cheer, and dance classes, Little Steps has expanded by now offering jazz classes. For ages 18 months to 18 years, enrollment ends January 2nd. Visit the Little Steps Dance and Gymnastics Facebook page for enrollment information.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it into the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, spray and bed liners, sandblasting, dealer and installer of B&W hitches and drop and lock hitches. No job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
Quality, integrity, durability. The values that make Landall stand out above the rest. Landall Company offers stable employment with growth opportunities, excellent wages, and a benefit package that includes profit sharing, $2 per hour shift differential, 4% attendance bonus, fuel allowance to drive to work, weekly paychecks, comprehensive insurance package with $500 deductible, and much more. Learn more. Apply online at Landall.com. Phone 785-562-5381. EEO Vets and Disability. Welcome.
Back in Axtell, Kansas, we are moments away from Thursday night high school football here as the Axtell Eagles take on the Cougars of Hutchinson Central Christian High School down in Hutchinson. Running over the records, of course, real quick, Hutchinson comes in at 4-5, an impressive win in their last game, as well as the Axtell Eagles winning, of course, in their Week 8 matchup to start the playoffs off en route to their second state championship in 8-man football. It's going to be a beautiful night here in Axtell as the wind has started to die down just a little bit. Cloud cover pretty prevalent, but I don't see any dark clouds in the horizon. I think that wet stuff from the sky might just hold off until we're done. We're moments away here as the Axtell Eagles take the field behind the cheers of their hometown fans. The Axtell Eagles will come out in their home blues, top and bottoms, red numbers with gray and white outlining on them, and white helmets. Looking pretty sharp here for this Week 10 football game. The visiting Cougars come out in some green bottoms as well as a white visiting top with green numbers and a green stripe down the side, white helmets as well for the Cougars. Week 10 action is just about ready to get underway here in Axtell, Kansas, as it will be Josh Miller, the 210 senior, kicking it off here for the Cougars, and we're away. Kick goes down towards the goal line. That's going to be Detweiler taking it off the top shoe of his lace. He has a spot left side here. Good return there by Detweiler. He returns it all the way up to the 35-yard line. The senior quarterback taking a low live drawing punt off the far hash mark, bringing it here near side and getting good field position here for the Axtells. So, of course, the Axtell Eagles, led by senior quarterback Isaac Detweiler, along with seniors Owen Strothman, Evan Bussing, the three seniors rounding out your starting six, three juniors as well, Grady Bussing, Grant Bussing, and Sawyer Dieters, who will walk the line, as well as sophomores running back Braden Smelsley and Eli Boxerman. First play of the game is actually going to be a fumble on the ball, picked up by the Eagles, somehow flipped it over to Broxterman, as that's going to be a loss for the first play of the Axtell Eagles. Couldn't even get out of my introductions again, as the Axtell Eagles lose 5 yards on that first play, bringing up a first down and 15 from their own 30-yard line. A little miscommunication there on the option handoff here near side. Something you're not used to seeing the Eagles do is put the ball on the ground, as they are a very disciplined team. Minimal penalties and minimal turnovers here on the season. Prize possession in that ball. It's going to be empty set now with Detweiler in the backfield. It's going to be Bussing and Broxterman here near side as they bring around Smelsley on the end around. It's going to be a direct run by Isaac Detweiler as he gets down the right sideline. Tiptoes the sideline, 10, 5, touchdown, Eagles! Isaac Detweiler with a 50-yard touchdown run early on in this game, as he was able to just tiptoe here near side sideline and sneak down the lane of this Cougars defense. Going to make it an early 6-0 lead here for the Axtell Eagles on the long Detweiler run. So not even 2 minutes into this game, at 10:54 here in the first quarter, Axtell gets on the board 6-0. Detweiler looks to throw here near side. Pass is complete to number 16, Braden Smelsley, as Axtell takes over the early 8-0 lead here over the Cougars. We're going to take a quick early game break. You're listening to High School Sports here on KNDY Radio 95.5.
Double the joy! Double the joy! Double the joy!
Ho, ho, ho! We're doubling the joy this holiday season at Blue Valley Technologies. Refer a friend, and you get $40, and they get $40. Refer as many friends and family members as you can before the end of the year, and the credits will show up on your Blue Valley bill. Visit bluevalley.net/double the joy today.
Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
And the Eagles are flying high early on in this game over in Axtell. The Axtell Eagles got a early 6-0 lead thanks to a 50-yard touchdown run by Isaac Detweiler. Took the direct quarterback run down this near side sideline, tiptoed the out-of-bounds line, putting the Axtell Eagles up 6-0 moments after. Of course, Detweiler 2, Strothman 2-point conversion is good. So now the Cougars down early in this game. Talked to, like I said, Eric Detweiler before this game. He said, look for us to strike early and often, and they're playing to their advantage, using Isaac Detweiler, the senior, as a runner here near side on the quarterback direct run for a long Eagle touchdown. First kick of the game for the Eagles goes through the ground, and it's going to start here at the 25-yard line as number 7, Tommy Barnett, handles it for the Cougars. So looking at this Cougars defense, they switch it up a little bit offense to defense, but offensive starters starting 2 seniors, number 7 in Tommy Bennett, and at number 58, Josh Miller. 3 juniors help out in the starting 8, Justice Huff, Emilio Ibarra, and as well as Camden Bishwanti, and Keaton Miller, and Rylan Tuwaman round out your starting 8 for the Cougars. There's a run, and there's a big put down by the Axtell Eagles defense as number 24, Tuwaman, got the run attempt here near side, but was met immediately on the edge as Sawyer Dieters picked him up and surplexed him. Dieters, of course, setting at 265, and Tuwaman at 145, almost a 100-pound difference on that. So the Cougars will come out here, tight ends on both sides, I formation. It's going to be 7 in the backfield. Barnett as Tuwaman behind him. Ibarra will be your quarterback as Ibarra looks back to pass. It's going to be pass complete, but short gain there to number 5, Justice Huff, as 2 Eagle defenders were there. Going to give that tackle to Smelsley and Detweiler, as Detweiler already making a statement here early on in this game. Big run on the defensive side, and now early on, big stop. Just under 10 minutes here to play in the first quarter. Axtell Eagles already leading 8-0 on an early run by this Axtell offense. Now the Cougars for Hutchinson Christian Central are going to go two wide receivers each side. In the backfield will be Ibarra. He looks back to pass, pumps once, pump twice. It's going to be picked off. It's going to be Isaac Detweiler again down the sideline. 10-5 stiff arm, close to the goal line, but out of bounds as Isaac Detweiler picks off Ibarra to turn it over to this Axtell Eagles offense. Seem to speak it almost into fruition. They're talking about Isaac Detweiler's early game here already with the long touchdown run. Now caps that off with a pick all the way down to inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be ball at the 3-yard line as the Axtell Eagles look to add on here to their lead. Already leading 8-0 here. 9:32 left to play here in this first quarter early on. Axtell will go with Detweiler and Schmelzley in the backfield. Direct option to Detweiler as he pitches it to Schmelzley. Schmelzley walks in for the 3-yard touchdown run as now the Axtell Eagles have regained or taken advantage of that great field position that Isaac Detweiler was able to return that tip ball. It really wasn't a bad job by the quarterback for the Cougars. Ibarra, just one pump too many as he overthrew his receiver, went off the hands. As a quarterback, the worst thing you can see is a ball that tips up in the air, and that's exactly what the Eagles did as they have now taken the early 14-0 lead here. 9:24 left to play in this first quarter. Scores almost exactly a minute apart. That is how fast this Axtell Eagles offense can roll. It's going to be Detweiler in the backfield with Strassman to his left again, in and plowing through the middle of that Cougars defense. Isaac Detweiler with the 2-point conversion run, making it now 16-0 as the Axtell Eagles lead the Hutchinson Central Cougars here on KNDY Radio. We'll be right back here after 30 seconds.
For engineered roof and floor trusses, call on Axtell Truss. 12 to 80-foot span. Complete hip, cathedral, and floor systems using only the best SYP available. Delivered to your site undamaged on a roll-off trailer. Manufactured locally at Axtell Truss on U.S. Highway 36, 2 miles west of K110 between Seneca and Marysville. Phone 785-736-2291.
Of course, if you are looking for Kansas Jayhawk basketball, as it's hard to believe that college basketball season is already underway here in the state of Kansas as they tip off their exhibition games tonight. That will be on at 7 o'clock, directly following our game here in Axtell, and looking like we're going to be able to catch all of that game as the Eagles took advantage early on a turnover by Isaac Detweiler about midfield, returned it all the way inside the 5, and punching it in for the 3-yard touchdown run was Brandon Schmelzley, the sophomore. This offense for the Eagles is off and running here again against Hutchinson Central Christian as down the right side and upended. Good tackle there as Schmelzley put his head down and absolutely clobbered the return man there for the Cougars. I believe that was number 24, Kuiman. He's already taken a few shots here in this game. Talked about early on the size of this Cougars team. There's only 2 starters in this lineup, over 200 pounds. Most of their bigger guys are on the sideline, but if you look at it, you'd kind of be surprised. The athleticism of Axtell is absolutely taken over here early on in this game. Here comes a direct run near side as Ali Barra tries to get to the sideline and tackled nicely by Isaac Detweiler. He forces Ali Barra out of bounds here. Cougars just looking to get something going in this game. 9 minutes left to play here in this first quarter. Axtell already leading 16-0 and not able to get on the even Axtell side of the field. The first possession for the Cougars started about their own 15-yard line. This one started a little bit better at their 25, but only able to move it up a yard there as now they face a 2nd down and 9. Go receiver 1 to the left and 1 to the right. As in the backfield, it will be Kuiman behind Ibarra. Ibarra's going to give it on a little sweep there as snuck out nicely. Isaac Detweiler, number 10, Eli Brocksterman kind of came up from his sub-linebacker spot, snuffed that out in the backfield as now we're up to a 3rd and 11 as Axtell looks to get this ball back in an obvious passing situation now for the Cougars. Be kind of tough to determine what you want to do here. You're setting at a 3rd and 11 if you're the Cougars, but Ibarra just threw a pick for you that resulted in an easy 6 or 8 points for the Eagles. It looks like they're going to go spread formation here. 2 receivers to the left. Running back to the right is Kuiman of Ibarra. Going to be 1 receiver right, too, as well as Axtell just rushes 3. Pressure coming up the middle. Kuiman looking to run now. Or Ibarra, excuse me. Ibarra's just going to have to take the sack. Big-time sack there as Evan Bussing came up from the corner position here. He was here near side, came up and tackled Ibarra for a big loss. That's going to make it 4th down and 15. You would have to think the Cougars are going to look to punt here now. 4th down and 20. They updated it. That's going to be a 9-yard sack loss for the senior Evan Bussing. Going to be punt blocked at the line. The lengthy arms of, believe that was Eli Brocksterman, got to the punt man. As the punt man for the Cougars, who is the quarterback, Ibarra, was standing awfully close to his line, took about 2 steps as Brocksterman was sitting right in his lap. So you can't ask for better execution on both ends of the ball now as Axtell gets a golden opportunity to put up even more points here. 7:15 to play here in the first quarter as now Axtell has the ball within the 5-yard line of the Cougars. 1st and goal now, haven't even had to drive the field. A lot of points could be an option here. 2 receivers right as it's going to be Brocksterman, and it's going to be Smelsley in the backfield. All the way split left is Bussing. They're going to bring Brocksterman up the middle. It's going to be right up the middle behind Brocksterman. Isaac Detweiler walks in for another Axtell Eagles touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run by the senior Isaac Detweiler as he followed Evan Bussing, and I don't even think anyone touched Detweiler until his own teammates gave him high fives in the back of the end zone. Axtell has opened it up now 22-0 with a score at 7:10 left here to play in this first quarter against the Cougars. Axtell's going to go right side here and like to run an option out of this set, but let's see what they do here. 1 tight end to the left. They're going to actually run option to the weak side. Detweiler 2 steps in. That's going to be a 2-point conversion for the senior Isaac Detweiler as he has been the story here tonight. Axtell Eagles in firm control now as they lead 24-0. 7:10 left to play here in this first quarter of Thursday night action. You're listening to high school football on KNDY Radio 95.
For all of your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and excavation services, there's only one call to make. Axtell HVAC and Heating. Formerly Dave's Hardware in Axtell, the guys at Axtell HVAC and Heating look forward to continuing the success Dave has built over the years, offering all HVAC and heating needs, as well as carrying a wide range of name-brand appliances. Give Axtell HVAC and Heating a call today, 785-736-2714.
Eagles number 12, Isaac Detweiler.
Back here in Axtell as the Eagles have opened up 24-0 here early on in this first quarter. As the temperatures have stayed nice tonight, talking about getting down in the possible 40s before tomorrow hits. But it is a wonderful night for football here in Northeast Kansas. Of course, moved this game to tonight with the threat of rain last night. You're looking for high school football tomorrow night as well. Bruce Deerking will have the call as the Hanover Wildcats take on Canton Galva. That'll kick off will be at 7 o'clock with pregame starting just after K-Preps at around 6:45. Here in Axtell on a Thursday night, sun just getting ready to set. Lights are on here as the Eagles look to kick it off. Of course, it'll be Detweiler, the all-purpose player for the Eagles. The kick's going to go out of bounds, so maybe the wrong thing I've seen so far here tonight. Of course, kicking into the wind now are the Eagles as they're moving left to right with a decent south breeze. Flag not flapping near as hard as it was before I got here to this game. Of course, just as I say that, it picks up a little bit. So, to be expected, the Axtell Eagles have kept this ball on the ground. They've been helped out early on by a direct quarterback run of 50 yards all the way down for a touchdown from senior Isaac Detweiler. Then Detweiler on the defensive side early gets a pick, returns it about 30 yards into the 5 of the Cougars. Brandon Smelsley tops that scoring drive off with a 3-yard option touchdown run. Then just moments ago, Isaac Detweiler walked in for his own 6 and own 2, as that brings us 24-0 here as the Cougars battle the Axtell Eagles. It's going to be an option here run, and now coming out of the pile is quarterback Ibarra. Emilio Ibarra with a shifty move, the 140 junior coming out of the backfield here near side. Kind of looked like a broken play as they have went to a new running back instead of the sophomore Rylan Kuiman. It will now be the senior Caleb Fletchel, the 180 senior, a little heftier back down there, looking to maybe ground and pound and take some time away as we have not even eclipsed 7 minutes here in this first quarter. But the first down of the night for the Cougars is they now set just short of midfield, ball on the 36 of their own. We're going to look back to pass. Wide open, far side is the receiver, just off the fingertips of number 14, Pearson Huff, trying to hook up with the freshman on the far side. Don't know what happened there from the Axtell Eagles defense. Kind of hard to watch the other side of the field while we're watching the backfield, but wide open off the line was the freshman. Someone was a little confused there in that defensive backfield, but a shot nonetheless survived by the Eagles, as now that's going to bring up a second down and 10. Ball still sitting at the 36-yard line. Axtell Eagles still leading in this game, 24-0. Clock just rolled under 7 minutes here left to play in the first quarter. It's going to be Ibarra with a power right quarterback behind his new running back, Fletchel. Fletchel got a good block there, but that incomplete pass on first down now sets up the Cougars with a rough 3rd down and 7 early on in this first quarter, right at midfield, though, for the Cougars. First time they have actually gained any yards here. A positive drive. Let me rephrase that. So far here early on in this game, having trouble with that Axtell Eagles is the Cougars line. Axtell's going to bring up 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 corners on the flanking side of each wide receiver. Quick pass here, far side. They're going to run a little wide receiver screen close to the first down, and I've got to believe they're going to go for it here, as that's going to bring up a 4th down and 1 on the Axtell side of the field now, as the ball is going to be at the 35-yard line. Have to get back accustomed to 8-man fields. Now we have a big 4th down coming up for the Cougars. This Axtell defense, of course, Ben did not break, helped early on by a blocked punt and an interception by senior Isaac Detweiler, but now it's going to be the Cougars going for it. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Looks like Axtell's going to be in man. It's going to be Ibarra in the backfield with Fletchall to his right, and we've got a false start as the Cougars tried to go hard count, and it psyched out their own players. Senior Tommy Barrett, 165 here, near side in the slot. Couldn't quite hear the snap count, as that's going to move them right back to midfield. Brings up a tougher first down to reach for the Cougars, as it's going to be 4th down and 6. 5:30 left to play here in the first quarter. Eagles, of course, leading 24-0, helped in part by Isaac Detweiler here early in this game. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left here for the quarterback. They're going to roll weak side as a blitz comes. He's hit as he throws. Picked off again. Isaac Detweiler near side. Detweiler 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Isaac Detweiler. As he brings it back, we're going to give him a 35-yard touchdown on an interception return, as Axtell just continues to put it on here. Eagles now leading 30-0. Isaac Detweiler getting that interception, but I'll tell you who made that play. That was number 10, Eli Broxerman, coming from his linebacker position, forcing an errant throw by the junior quarterback, Ibarra. That's his second one of the night, second pick, and now Axtell looking for the 2-point conversion. It's going to go near side option as Detweiler throws it late to his running back, as he already had hands all over him. It's kind of a tricky play there, as Broxerman was not able to come up with it. But regardless, Axtell gets the score, extends their lead 30-0 here. 5:20 left to play in the first quarter. You're listening to high school football here on Thursday Night Football, KNDY Radio 95.5.
The State Bank in Axtell is synonymous with quality and integrity in the banking business. Financing for your home, for your farm, or your small business. Contact the loan officers if you need money, or if you're putting money away for something special, or just saving for a rainy day. Visit with the professionals at the State Bank of Axtell. They're federally insured, member FDIC, the State Bank of Axtell.
Your hometown partner with any do-it-yourself project is Hometown Lumber of Marysville and Axtell Lumber of Axtell. Serving the community for over 20 years, expert knowledge accompanied by a helpful smile and reassuring handshake will tell you you're in the right place. With all your building needs, they are ready to help you. Stocked with a full line of lumber and hardware to go along with tools, plumbing supplies, paint, and lawn and garden, you'll leave knowing you've made the right choice by stopping at Axtell Lumber and Hometown Lumber in Marysville.
Back here in Axtell as the Eagles open it up 30-0 now. Isaac Detweiler kicks it off here near side. Ball goes rumbling around. It's going to be here the quarterback Ibarra returning it for the Cougars as he brings it up to just over the 30-yard line. So Axtell easily the better team here on both sides of the ball. Early on, of course, helped by turnovers by the junior quarterback Emalio Ibarra. I want to call them errant throws, but not really. Pressure on both of those throws forced a interception, both times taken by Isaac Detweiler. The pressure made on that last one by Eli Brockstrom, and you might as well give him the interception on that one, as late pressure from the sophomore forced the interception. Axtell comes out in the 3-by-3 with two safeties, and falling forward is the running back. Riley Kweeman is back into the game as he was out on the last series in favor of the senior Fletchman. Maybe Kweeman had a little talking to there on the sideline. Of course, win or go home here in this Week 10 matchup as the Axtell Eagles look to repeat as 8-man state champions here this year. Axtell's going to come up with 4-man on the line as the Cougars are in an I formation that does go right up the middle. Axtell's there to give it a shot. Now it's going to bring up third down directly at midfield. The possession before, the Cougars did have an opportunity at midfield. They were all the way down to 4th and 1 at the 35-yard line of the Eagles, but a false start by the senior Tommy Barrett forced the Cougars to step back 5 yards and was not able to get the 4th down. And on that play, Isaac Detweiler returned it for a touchdown. So it's amazing what penalties will do, where they'll set you back. Big 3rd down and 10, 4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter as Eagles leading 30-0. It's going to be a sweep far side. It's going to go Kweeman, met at the line, but bouncing off a tackler. As Kweeman's going to get a few yards, but he's not going to be close to the first down. As decision time now, I would assume we're going to go for it again right here at midfield. 4th and 3 there. Of course, they lined up in the I formations, 2 tight ends tight, fullback and halfback in the backfield. Last 2 possessions ran it right up the middle. This time decided to go with a little bit of a sweep. Let's see what they have here on 4th down. I'm going to assume same formation, clock continuing to tick. 3:33 left to play here in this first quarter. Axtell on defense, 4th down and 3, but Axtell leading 30-0. Same I formation here. Axtell brings 2 down linemen, but 5 up to the line on the corner. Looks like they're going to crash middle. Hard count for the Cougars. We're going to go sweep outside. Met at the line and no good. Kweeman could not find a hole as on that far side, believe it's been Brockstrom all evening on that left side of the Eagles defense. Him and Evan Bussing combining for the big stop and turnover on downs. So we'll give that one to Bussing. The 165 senior gets a big stop there. Snuffs that one out from the get-go. Saw him on that far sideline, kind of itching to get after the quarterback like a sprinter in a stance, and sure enough, he does. Axtell with an opportunity now to score. Haven't called them on offense too much tonight because the defense has been so good getting a turnover, but looking to add on to this 30-0 lead, 3:14 left to play in the first quarter. Detweiler's going to go look near side. He's going to go directly to his big tight end. I believe that's number 34, Brandon Bailey. Oh, excuse me, looking at the wrong roster there. Excuse me, Grady Bussing, the junior, getting the reception there. Didn't make sense to me either. Grady Bussing, reception for a first down as Isaac Detweiler looking sharp in this game. Flung it over here near side. Only receiver here as now Axtell's going to go and try and spread him out. It's going to be Bussing here near side with Strothman and Smelsley all the way to the left. Now they're going to bring Smelsley in motion here near side. Detweiler's going to look to run right at the middle. Detweiler's got some room. Detweiler got a first down up to the 10-yard line as he spins around. Down goes the senior as Isaac Detweiler puts Axtell within scoring range for the Eagles as they look to extend, add on to this early 30-6 lead, or 30-0 lead, looking to make it 36-0. Pretty simple concept there. Keep the ball in the best player on the team's hand and let him make a decision, and that's what Coach is doing with his senior quarterback right now. It's going to be same formation. Detweiler setting up in the backfield. He's going to throw it far side off the fingertips, caught near the end zone, and he's going to be down just short by about the length of the football. Has a good catch there by Brandon Schmelsley. Took it off his shoelaces at about the 10-yard line. We're going to call it a second down and inches with the ball at the inch-yard line, and that's going to be about it. Second down and goal now for Eagles as they lead 30-0, 2:17 left to play here in the first down. I've got to expect Eagles will go spread, two receivers left, one receiver here right, as it's going to be Detweiler in the backfield along with his partner now Schmelsley tags along here in the backfield as well. Brocksterman. That's going to be Brocksterman up the middle. As Isaac Detweiler actually keeps it even, tricks out the announcer on the option play there. 1-yard touchdown run by the senior Isaac Detweiler as continuing to push it on are the Axtell Eagles, now extending their lead 36-0 here, and we have not even hit the second quarter. 2:13 left to play in this first quarter. To be expected, this Axtell Eagles offense has come out hot and come out strong, but the defense is helping as well. 2 early turnovers, 1 on a block, actually 3 early turnovers, 2 picks by Detweiler, and a block by Brocksterman has led us to this 36-0 lead. Fumbled on the pitch as the ball kind of squirts around a little trickeration there for the Eagles as they look to try and expand their playbook here late in this season. But it is no good as the ball hits the turf. Axtell Eagles leading 36-0, 2:13 left to play here on KNDY Radio 95.5.
At Kramer Oil, they know you have options when it comes to a propane provider, but why call an out-of-town company when Kramer Oil is local, reliable, and flexible? Personal attention and propane when you need it, where you need it, along with convenient text ordering options. New customers get 10 cents off per gallon on their first delivery. Contact them by calling or texting 785-562-2466. The Kramer Oil family, serving your family since 1976.
Here in Axtell, Kansas, Max Blasky joining you on the call here, stand side as the Axtell Eagles are leading the Hutchinson Central Christian Cougars 36-0. And so far, it has been an absolute Isaac Detweiler show as the senior started off the game with a 50-yard touchdown run on a design quarterback power. Since then, the defense of the Eagles has really spoken up, getting a block from sophomore Eli Brocksterman on the third possession of the Cougars and 2 interceptions by the senior. Again, tell me if I mentioned this name, Isaac Detweiler, 2 interceptions on the game, 1 return, 35 yards for a pick 6. The other one set up great field position inside the 3-yard line for this Eagles offense. It's going to be taking it far side is the junior running back, Cooeyman, as he gets it up to about the 30-yard line. We're going to call it the 25-yard line there. 25-yard line of the Cougars as now their 5th possession. They look to put some points on the board. They've been able to pick up 2 first downs, though, here in this game, crossing midfield a couple times. But obviously this Axtell defense is a little bit more than the offensive line for the Cougars can handle. Game started out, and I really think it was a tone setter. Big number 88, Sawyer Dieters, came off this near side right in for the Eagles and blew up a little pitch play, suplexed the running back as they look to run the same play here, but blocked good by the Cougars as it's going to be good tackle here near side, Isaac Detweiler. We're talking about that play a little bit before, his first play of the game. And Dieters just absolutely blew up the offensive line of the Cougars. And I think from that point on, this defense for the Eagles has been energized. They have held the Cougars scoreless. Of course, Axtell leading 36-30. Clock continuing to run, 1:40 left here to play in this first quarter. It's been Axtell Eagles early and often on this, what has turned out to be a absolutely beautiful night for high school football here on a Thursday night. It's going to be Cougars here working right to left now with the ball on the 31-yard line after a loss There's another tackle for loss as the lengthy senior Owen Strothman gets in the action off the left side defensive end position, tackling Cooeyman for a tackle for loss. Going to bring up a third down now and 10 as clock just goes under 1 minute left to play here in this first quarter. With so much scoring going on, it kind of has been a slow-moving first quarter, but Axtell is leading here in this game. Looks like that's what the coach of the Cougars is doing a little bit here now, too, letting that clock run a little bit. I'm sure Coach Eric Detweiler is not going to complain about that one bit. It's going to be a long third down and 10 now, setting at the 26-yard line of the Cougars. As in the backfield, it'll be Cooeyman with Ibarra just behind him as the quarterback, and met at the line. Again, the interior of that defensive line for the Eagles, as now Strothman back-to-back nice plays crashing down, as well as Grady and Grant Bussing getting into that action in the middle of that Axtell Eagles defense. Fourth down and 11, as this might run us into the quarter break. Clock continuing to run. 8 seconds left here to go, and that will be our first quarter score. So Axtell looking to put this game away here on ice, wanting to get her done before halftime, and doing a good job of it. As the Axtell Eagles lead the Hutchinson-Kristen Central Cougars 36-0 here on this Thursday night football game. You're listening to high school football on KNDY Radio 95.5.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction, plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Little Joe's 66 Service in Axtell is a proud supporter of Axtell schools and Axtell athletics. If you have automotive repair needs, call Joe at 785-736-2824. With satisfied customers from all over the area, Little Joe's 66 Service is the place to turn for all of your automotive repair needs.
Oh, yeah. Welcome here back to KNDY Radio as the Eagles are leading early on in this game. Second quarter just about ready to get underway. 36-0 is the score as the Eagles or the Cougars look to punt. Of course, one block punt early on in this game. It's going to be 16 taking it here right in front of me. Smelsley with the good return there. Smelsley down the far side, tripped up just over the 30 as the Eagles will get excellent field position there on their first possession here of this second quarter. So it's been all Eagles all the time here in this first quarter as they now lead 36-0, looking to add on to this score. It has been the Isaac Detweiler show as well, with a 50-yard touchdown run as well as 2 picks, as well as Eli Brocksterman getting in the action. The sophomore getting a block punt early on in the game, forcing a quick Axtell touchdown. As now the Eagles will go empty set. It's going to be Smelsley coming in backfield, a little end around there. It's going to come here near side to Brocksterman. Brocksterman goes left side looking to break a tackle, continues to keep those feet moving as they get down towards the 20-yard line. It's going to be close for a first down.
Number 58, Josh Miller.
Josh Miller getting the stop for the Cougars. As a good play design there, as a little double end around worked for the Axtell Eagles, picks them up a first down, and on the move they go. It's going to be a ball on the 29-yard line of the Cougars as they are faced now with trying to stop this high-powered and flowing Axtell Eagles offense. Eagles will go 2 receivers right, 1 here to the left. Of course, in the backfield, it will be Smelsley along with Detweiler. Detweiler getting some pressure, flips it out to Smelsley. Smelsley with another impressive catch, continuing to turn those feet, diving near the first down marker. And Smelsley gets almost up towards the first down marker. Good job there by the Eagles. Good job there by senior quarterback Isaac Detweiler to escape a little bit of pressure first time tonight we've seen some pressure coming up the middle from the Cougars, but able to flip it out to his running back as now we have a 2nd down and 3, 36-0. The Eagles leading here on this Thursday night. Turned out to be a wonderful Thursday night for football here in Axtell, Kansas. On that play here near side, the senior Owen Strothman limping off a little. Something to keep an eye on as a late pitch here goes near side. Smelsley looks to get to the corner. Smelsley easily in on a 7-yard touchdown run as Detweiler took the late pitch, pitched it here near side to Smelsley, and Smelsley did the rest. Eagles now leading 42-0, wanting to put this game on ice here before halftime. Leading 42-0, I believe the Axtell Eagles mascot cut that one a little short, and I don't blame him. Got a lot of push-ups here to do the rest of the night as Axtell Eagles look to put on another 2 here, make it 44-0. A little screen pass here near side. That was caught, but they're going to call it incomplete as in is out of the hands of the senior Evan Bussing. Was not able to control that pass from Detweiler. Nonetheless, Axtell Eagles still leading the Hutchinson Central Cougars. Now leading 42-0. We'll take a quick break. 10:42 left here to play in the second quarter. You're listening to Thursday Night High School Football on KNDY Radio.
If your vehicle is looking like it just went through a money rally race, or perhaps it's been target practice for the neighborhood bird gang, then you need to get your car washed today at the Axtell Car Wash. The Axtell Car Wash has 2 enclosed self-service bays, even one size for semi-tractors. Just pull in, pay with your bank card, and wash all the dirt, mud, bugs, and bird stuff off your vehicles. You don't have to drive far to get a clean car. Just visit the Axtell Car Wash, proud supporter of the Axtell Eagles.
Western National Bank in Summerfield wants you to feel good about where you are with your money. Available when you need them and offering online and personal services, Western National Bank will make sure to keep you and your money happy. Call Western National Bank at 244-6211 to make your money smile. Member FDIC.
So the Axtell Eagles have taken control of this game as the kickoff goes middle line. Eagles here looking to get on defense. Ali Barra breaks it here near side. See if he's got the speed. 50, 40, near side. Detweiler pushes him out of bounds as the best play for the Cougars happened on that kickoff return from the junior Malio Ali Barra, the quarterback, making his presence known, maybe making up for those 2 picks he threw early on in this game, as the best field position for the night starts at the Eagles' 22-yard line. This Axtell defense needing to get a stop now. Ball already on their side of the field. Only about the 3rd time tonight the ball has crossed midfield for the Cougars. Good job by the Eagles defense. And just a little, someone let a lane up there on that kickoff. Ali Barra smart enough to bring it here near side, take it up the right side lane, all the way up to the 22-yard line. 10:30 left to play. Axtell Eagles still leading 42-0. It's going to be a stretch play here, far side, as number 20, Caleb Fletchell, gets the first down run. The senior back in at running back. Cooeyman goes out for this possession again. 2nd down and 8 now coming up for the Cougars as they trail the Axtell Eagles 42-0 here in this second quarter. I want to, of course, thank all the sponsors here tonight, as always. Thank you to everyone supporting us, letting us do this. It's an absolutely beautiful night for football, and the Axtell Eagles are playing an absolutely beautiful game here tonight on what is a wonderful Thursday night. Pitch goes late here near side to the before-mentioned Fletchell as he gains about 2 more yards. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. Isaac Detweiler getting in that tackle, as well as Grant Bussing, number 54. We don't talk about them a whole lot, but those boys there on the line, Sawyer Dieters, Grant Bussing, and, of course, Grady Bussing getting in on the action. Owen Strothman playing that defensive end, as well as Brocksterman as well. They have done an excellent job tonight, not only on the defensive side, but the offensive side as well, opening up the middle of the field, especially on the offensive side, getting some running lanes for quarterback Detweiler, as well as running backs Smelsley and Bussing. Pass goes far side, intercepted again here. It's going to be returned near side, as I believe that's going to be Smelsley looking to bring it back out. Smelsley still running here midfield as the Axtell Eagles shut down the Cougars, as another errant pass from quarterback Ibarra just goes over the fingertips of his intended receivers, as now the Axtell Eagles defense did step up, thanks in part to a untimely interception. So the Eagles will take over with field position at the 31-yard line of the Cougars, with opportunity to jump over 45 here. And in this at halftime, of course, Axtell Eagles leading 42-0, 8:53 left to play here in this game. Spread them out again, do the Eagles, as it's going to be Detweiler in the backfield along with Smelsley. Detweiler looks back to pass. Let's see if he runs. Nope, takes the pass seam middle. He has a guy, broken tackle all the way down to the 5, to the 2, to the 1, just barely pushed out of bounds as Brandon Smelsley, as he came out of that backfield wide open and brought that ball all the way down to the 1-yard line. Beautiful touch there on that pass from senior quarterback Detweiler to Smelsley. And Smelsley, like I said, just ran a little seam route right up the middle, beat the linebacker safety split far side, and you just right up the middle and let speed do its thing. So stop short of the 1. They're actually going to be out at the 4-yard line as that went far side now. Smelsley back in the backfield with Detweiler. We're going to have our second flag of the night here, something we are not too accustomed to seeing. Had one flag early on the Axtell kicking team. And that resulted actually in a blocked punt for the Eagles. So it turned out to be all right on that one. This one's going to be a false start, though, on the offense for the Eagles. And someone on the interior of that line jumped, marches them back 5 yards, but still inside the 10-yard line of the Cougars. Ball's going to be at the 9. We're going to have first and goal for the Axtell Eagles as they look to add on to their 42-0 lead against Hutchinson Christian Central. It's going to be Detweiler giving it off to running back Eli Broxman. Broxman keeps pushing. He's going to be close. Near side judge gives him the touchdown. 9-yard touchdown run by number 10, Eli Broxman, as the Axtell Eagles have opened it up here with 8:36 left to play in this second quarter, as Axtell Eagles will go for 2, of course, now leading 48-0. Now time to see if the defense can stand pat for the Eagles. Detweiler, of course, in the backfield for the Eagles. We're going to run power right side. Detweiler right up the middle. Number 12, Isaac Detweiler, 2-point conversion. Going to make it a 50-piece for the Axtell Eagles. 0. We're going to actually keep it here right quick as we run through how we got here. If you're just now joining us, welcome in. It's an absolutely wonderful night for high school football. Of course, if you are looking for KU Jayhawk preseason basketball or exhibition basketball, they will be on momentarily just as soon as we are done with this game. I believe tip-off is set to be here at 7 o'clock. Looking like we'll get out of here in time. Axtell Eagles leading Hutchinson Christian Central 50-0 just moments ago. Eli Broxman got the short 9-yard touchdown run, making it 50-0. Going to wrap up here how we got here. Coming out, it started early and often for the senior quarterback, Isaac Detweiler. Talked about his name a lot, but he is the engine that runs this train. He got a 50-yard touchdown run early on in this game, and from there on, Axtell never looked back after a defensive turnover from Isaac Detweiler getting the pick. Followed up by a 3-yard touchdown run. Smelsley found the end zone as well as Broxman after that. So 3 offensive touchdowns and 2 turnovers for the Cougars got us there before the Cougars threw their second interception of the night as Isaac Detweiler took it back 35 yards for the INT pick 6. That made us here 30-0. Detweiler added on another touchdown run 3 minutes later, and then coming out of the second quarter, it was Smelsley getting the 7-yard touchdown run And moments ago, the sophomore Eli Brocksterman getting into the action, making it 50-0 here as we stand in Axtell. So, of course, we are playing a Thursday night game, too. If you are looking for Friday night action, we are your place to be, as Bruce Deerkin will have the call as the Hanover Wildcats face off against Canton Galva in what will be an exciting Week 10 matchup here as playoff football continues to march its way through the state of Kansas. Of course, quite a few games got moved here to Thursday night with the threat of rain coming in tomorrow. But luckily here, that has held off, and it's actually turned out to be an absolutely beautiful night here in Axtell, Kansas. I even brought up my sweatshirt, but have not needed to put it on as this open air and this breeze feels good. The wind was going to be a factor early on in this game, but it has not needed to be one. As Axtell hasn't punted once, and the one time the Cougars decided to punt, it got blocked by Owen Strothman, the senior. So an absolutely beautiful night here for football, as well as you are an Axtell Eagles fan handling business and exactly what you are wanting to see from this team. Of course, seeking back-to-back state titles led by 3 seniors is this team's ultimate goal. I keep talking to Coach Eric Detweiler every week, and he says as long as you're focused, as long as you know what you're wanting to do, you will do it just fine. This time, the Axtell Eagles are holding their own and absolutely handling the Cougars from Hutchinson Christian Central. So Axtell now on defense. 2 plays have already gone by, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 10 for the Cougars as they just haven't been able to get anything going offensively. Spoke on it a little bit before. The defensive line of Sawyer Dieters, Grant Bussing, and Grady Bussing up front, absolutely handling this offensive line for the Cougars, making it tough. Now, Eric Detweiler switching it up here a little bit defensively. He's going to go with 2 down linemen and 5 linebackers with a deep safety, wanting to stop the run of this Cougars team as clock continues to roll. Just under 7 minutes left here to play in this second quarter. 4th down and 10. It's going to bring up Axtell handling their business, leading 50-0. Clock continuing to roll as a 4th down and 8 inside their own territory is going to be the question for the Cougars. What do you do here? You're down deep inside your own territory, of course, trailing 50-8, not looking like much on the scoreboard. Before these seniors, you want to send them out for head coach Roberto Ibarra. You want to send these seniors out right for the Cougars. Of course, these Cougars amassed a 5-4 record on the season. Here's a pass near side complete. It's going to be inbounds. Number 7, Tony Barrett, catching that ball. It's going to be close to a 1st down. It looks like they're going to go ahead and give it to the Cougars. I mentioned in a moment ago, not a bad season for the Cougars as they finished this year 4-5, and of course won a playoff game last week in order to get the right to come up here to play Axtell, defeating Marymount Valley 52-6. So this offense can score and can get out there, but I believe this Axtell defense just too much for this Cougar team here tonight. For the Cougars, of course, 3 seniors on this team, so an opportunity to play a power like Axtell, I'm sure, is an exciting factor as up the middle goes number 24, Rylan Kweeman. Rumbles ahead for about 8 yards now as the clock continues to roll. We are under 5:50 left to play here in the second quarter as Axtell has handled this game from start until now. We're not finished yet, but I believe we will be here in just a little bit. Cougars come out now here in this I formation, and an interesting shift I mentioned. Axtell likes to play 3 linemen down with their backers, but now they're coming out in a 2x5x1 set, trying to sneak through the gaps, take their 2 linemen and try and hold the center and the guards on both sides and let their athleticism do their talking on the defense. And so far tonight, that has been the case as the Cougars have just not been able to get anything going offensively. Of course, buoyed by 3 interceptions from quarterback Emalio Ibarra does not help the case. One of those did get returned for a touchdown. A block punt, too, by the Eagles, of course, gave the Eagles excellent field position early on in this game. Clock continuing to roll now. 4:40 left to play here. 50-0 lead as the Axtell Eagles look to move on here in this Week 10 matchup against the Cougars. There's going to be a first down throw. We're going to continue. I think the clock will continue to run now. Stop made by number 2, Landon Schmitz, as now Detweiler deciding to get some other players, of course, in on defense. Looking at this offensive or defensive sideline, needing to get a little experience now, as early on in this game, senior Owen Strothman went out what looked like just a rolled ankle. He's standing fine on the sideline, but no need to push the senior when you have another week coming up next week. Cougars are going to go 2 wide now instead of their normal I formation. They're going to be one receiver here near side. It's going to be a flip screen there, as quickly on top of that defensively, the sophomore Eli Broxton came in with a head of steam. Thankfully, that ball was thrown near to the ground, and receiver Cooeyman had to go to the ground to get it, because Broxton was out for some blood there. Clock continuing to run. Axtell leading 50-0. 4 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Mentioned it before. Of course, want to thank all of our sponsors here tonight: Landall Corporation, Axtell Trust, State Bank of Axtell, B&D Buildings, Axtell Car Wash, Little Steps Dance and Gymnastics, Western National Bank of Summerfield, Little Joe's Service, Kramer Oil, Axtell Lumber and Hometown Lumber of Marysville, Eagle HVAC and Plumbing, Blue Valley Technologies, and Moonlight Restorations. Thank you all for supporting us all season and these Axtell Eagles throughout their playoff run as they continue their march through for a back-to-back state championship title. Talked to Coach Eric Detweiler early on in the season and asked him if that was sort of a motivating factor for this team, and he kind of chuckled and said, not really. The boys know what they're after, and they know what they're looking for. My job is just to put them in the best position possible. And so far here tonight, Coach Detweiler has done just that, as Axtell holds a hefty 50-0 lead. Ball just short of midfield. Another 3rd down and 10 coming up here for the Cougars. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Cowie Barra in the backfield. They're going to look to throw near side. Caught, believe he was down. They're going to call him down inbound as Justin Huff, number 5, the 175 junior, caught the ball on his knees and about got away from the Axtell defender over there on that side, Evan Bussing, but able to control him and get him down. Brings up a 4th down and 2 for the Cougars. Longest possession here for tonight, obviously, by the Cougars, as they have held this ball now for 4 or 5 minutes. Of course, wanting to kind of drain this clock, trailing 50-0, maybe wanting to get home before the rain happens. You never know. Axtell back to their regular 2-3-4 in the backfield. They're going to take a shot here near side, turning towards the ball. Almost a catch here near side. Acrobatic try by the junior Justin Huff, but not able to come down with that, as the lengthy Grady Bussing was in coverage. Good coverage there, as the Cougars took a shot, of course, on 4th down, That's going to turn over the ball. I believe we're going to have some running plays here now, as Blaze Bussing will come into the game for the Axtell Eagles. Landon Schmelsley, of course, took the spot of Owen Strothman as he rolled his ankle up, but looking all right here early on in this game. So now the sophomore Blaze is going to get some action here for the Eagles. It's going to be trips right side. 1 tight end here near side will be Evan Bussing, as Detweiler fakes the throw, looking deep middle seam, has a guy, but it's ticked down the middle of the field. That's going to be an athletic pick by Pearson Huff, the 145 freshman, coming up with a big pick off of Isaac Detweiler, as Detweiler had 2 receivers, same proximity, led the near side one just a little bit too far, and the freshman with good closing speed for the Cougars forces the first interception, first turnover here on the game for the Eagles. So now clock setting at 2:45. It's up to the Cougars to run out the rest of the clock, with Axtell leading 50-0 here in this game. Ball will be at the 21-yard line, of the Cougars, as pass will go quick far side. Ball will stay in bounds. Good stop there by the Axtell's defense. Believe that was number 16, Braden Schmelsley. The sophomore has been very impressive here tonight, both on the defensive side and running the ball, of course, with 1 touchdown already on the game. And two that could have been a touchdown. Two plays for the Eagles went for about 40 or 50 yards, but just stopped short of the goal line. Was both of those plays led to short scores for the Eagles as they have jumped out now 50-0 lead. Clock continuing to roll. Under 2 minutes left to play here in this second quarter over in Axtell. Axtell back to two receivers, three linebackers, and two corners as right up the middle the ball goes, and that's going to be how this game will look to continue. Brings up a third down and long now, 3rd down and 8, as Evan Bussing and Sawyer Dieters got into the mix there defensively for the Eagles, as this defensive line and defensive front really for the Eagles has been up to the task all night, not allowing the Cougars to get anything going offensively through the air or on the ground. Defensively, Eagles forcing 3 turnovers in this game along with a punt block. Here comes near side. Good job by Eli Brocksterman as he reached his long arms around the receiver for the Cougars. Batted that ball down as now it's going to bring up a 4th down and 8. Axtell still leading 50-0. Just looking to close this game out here and move on to next week's matchup. So it's going to be 4th down and I believe 8 for this Axtell's defense now as they look to get a stop. Got a stop moments ago on a short 4th down and 2. As now the Cougars are going to spread it out. I believe a quick pass is coming probably far side. It's going to be in the backfield. Rolling right is Cooeyman. It's going to be looking to pass another errant throw. Short. Could have went for the interception, but we're going to let the ball hit the ground. We're going to take over possession well inside the Cougars' defensive line for these Axtell Eagles as they will look to just close this game out with some running plays here now. Close to a minute left to play in this game. Of course, I want to thank all of you for joining me here tonight as it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to call the Axtell Eagles as they continue their march for back-to-back state championships runs. As it's 1 week at a time. That's what Coach Eric Detweiler keeps telling me. You take your business in 1 week, you get the opportunity to play again, and they sure took care of business here tonight as now the Eagles are leading 50-0. Ball on the 27-yard line. Going out of bounds, though, probably the only mistake will be Brandon Smelsley on that run. As Eagles maybe look to tack one on here. But leading 50-0, this game well in hand for the Eagles, looking to move on.
There's a 2nd and 2 for the Eagles.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 2, 1:07 left to play here in the second quarter. And Axtell looking to add on to what is already an impressive lead and move on towards next week. Of course, get tomorrow off. This is Thursday night, not Friday. So get tomorrow off, an extra day of practice. There's going to be a trap play right up the middle. Number 5 keeps running. Impressive run there by the sophomore Ryland Bussing as he gets all the way up towards the goal line. Another one of those that Ryland Bussing was stopped dead to rights about 5 yards after taking that handoff. But tough running from the sophomore as he plowed his way all the way down to the 3-yard line here as Axtell looks to put one more on the board here, leading 50-0. 40 seconds left here in this half before we hit the road. It's going to be Detweiler in the backfield. He's going to give it to the before-mentioned Bussing. He's going to be up close towards the line. It's going to be no good. He's going to be short. Ryland Bussing with another carry there. Clock continuing to run. 23 seconds left to play. We'll see if Eric Detweiler wants to run one more play here before we go to break, and he will not. That's going to be the final score then here as the Axtell Eagles defeat the Hutchinson Central Christian Cougars 50-0 in this regional matchup here on Thursday Night Football. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back here on KNDY 95.5.
Little Steps Dance and Gymnastics has open enrollment for spring 2023 classes. With spots filling up fast, don't miss this opportunity to get your kids into a fun, active environment. Continuing to offer the energy-packed tumbling, cheer, and dance classes, Little Steps has expanded by now offering jazz classes. For ages 18 months to 18 years, enrollment ends January 2nd. Visit the Little Steps Dance and Gymnastics Facebook page for enrollment information.
Have an accident with your vehicle? Call Moonlight Restoration and they'll take care of you with a free estimate, and they'll turn it in to the insurance company for you. You name it, they can do it. Fender benders, auto and tractor restoration, windshield repair or replacement, spray and bed liners, sandblasting, dealer and installer of B&W hitches and drop and lock hitches. No job is too large or too small for Moonlight Restoration. If you want quality work done by skilled technicians, call Moonlight Restoration in Axtell, Kansas. Owned and operated by Brett and Nikki Runnebaum. Call 736-2359.
Back here in Axtell as the Axtell Eagles continue their march for back-to-back state championships as they handle the Hutchinson Central Christian Cougars 50-0 here on this Thursday night football game. What a beautiful night it was for football here in Axtell. I want to thank you all for joining me. Of course, if you are listening or looking for football tomorrow night, Bruce Dearkin will have the call as the Hanover Wildcats, take on Canton Galva in what will be an exciting Week 10 matchup. Going to run over the scores here real quick. It was Isaac Detweiler from the beginning, and he was the story of this show. He started the scoring off early with a 50-yard touchdown run, opening up there in the first quarter. Number 16, Brandon Schmelsley, answered back with 9:24 on a 3-yard touchdown run. Then moments later, Detweiler was not to be outdone with a 3-yard touchdown run of his own, bringing us to 24-0. On the next offensive possession for the Cougars, quarterback threw it over to Detweiler, who returned it 35 yards for the INT pick six, bringing us 30-0. And then Detweiler on the next offensive possession, 1-yard touchdown run, 36-0. Not to be outdone, Brandon Schmelsley gets a touchdown himself, 7-yard touchdown run, 42-0. There late in the second quarter, and then right after end of quarter, and then middle of the second quarter, our last and final nail in the coffin. Eli Brockstrom with a 9-yard touchdown run. Isaac Detweiler, 2-point conversion with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and that brings our final score to 50-0. Once again, I want to thank all our sponsors here tonight for making this possible for us: Landau Corporation, Axtell Trust, State Bank of Axtell, B&D Buildings, Axtell Car Wash, Little Steps, Western National Bank, Little Joe's Service, Kramer Oil, Axtell Lumber and Hometown Lumber of Marysville, Eagle HVAC and Plumbing, Blue Valley Technologies, and Moonlight Restoration. I've been Max Vlasky on the call for KNDY Radio. KU Basketball is up next on 95.5. Thank you, and have a good night.